What's up, y'all? It's Moosh here, and today I wanted to talk about why I chose the University of North Texas and the things that I liked about it during my undergrad. So, if y'all didn't already know, I went to the University of North Texas for my undergrad. I graduated class of 2021. Currently, I'm also at UNT doing my master's in clinical mental health counseling. I was also an RA there too. One of the biggest reasons I chose UNT was because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I finished high school and my GPA wasn't that great, but I had a really decent SAT score and I got into a few schools, but I ended up choosing UNT because they gave me a pretty decent financial aid package. It was close to home and I wanted to go there, and the dorms looked pretty nice. One of the things I initially really liked about UNT was the fact that the student body population was extremely diverse. One of the things that was really important to me was diversity when I started looking at colleges. What I really liked about UNT was the fact that it was a minority serving institution. Later on throughout the years, it became a Hispanic student serving institution, so there was a lot of people of color, which is really important to me. I felt like I belonged because there were other people of color. What I also liked about UNT was the fact that it was a very progressive and very inclusive school. I love the fact that everyone felt like they belonged, and the school really does a huge push on diversity. That's something that's extremely important to me, and coming into UNT, I instantly felt welcomed, and I loved the fact that everyone was so nice and everyone was so welcoming. Also, as someone that lived in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, one of the things that was really important to me was being close to home, but not close enough to the point where I would always want to go home. I wanted to have the perfect amount of distance from home so I could have my own independence, but at the same time go back home whenever I wanted to. Being 45 minutes away was the ideal amount of distance. That way I could go back home every other weekend if I wanted to, or I could just stay on campus, which was very convenient in my opinion. As I started doing my undergrad and I stayed, one of the things I really started loving about UNT was how easy it was to get involved. When I was a freshman, I got involved in my hall association and I started loving doing programs and I started loving leadership positions, and that's how I found a really inclusive environment where I felt like I belonged. That led to me becoming an RA. After I became an RA, it was even nicer because I had free housing, free room and board, basically, so I didn't have to pay for any of that. So I was saving about $10,000 a year on rent and food, and that was one of the reasons I also really loved my undergrad at UNT, because I was saving so much money. I barely had to pay anything, and because of that, I was able to save up a lot more money. Because I was so involved in housing, because of all the leadership roles I did, it really developed me as a person. It really helped me learn a lot. I also found a lot of mentors that helped me become the person I am today, which I'm really grateful for because of UNT. I also learned about the Disney College program from one of my former supervisors, and that's also one of the reasons I did that right after graduation, and I got to go to Disney World and work there for 8 months. It was one of the best experiences I had. If I hadn't chosen UNT, I wouldn't have had any of these experiences. And these are some of the reasons why I really love UNT as a campus for your undergrad. It's an inclusive environment. You get to find a place where you belong. If you get involved on campus, there's a lot of things to do. It's very close to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so if you ever want to go to Dallas or anywhere nearby, it's super cool. Also, there's a lot to do around the Denton area. There's a lot of music. The Denton Arts and Jazz Festival. There's stuff to do on the square. There's house shows on the weekends. There's so much to do if you want to find it. And if you don't, you can always go to Dallas. There's always a Deep Ellum too. You can drive there and it's only 45 minutes away. That's like one of the nicest things about Denton too. It's really close to the large city areas. So these are some of the things that made me choose UNT and love it during my undergrad. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what else you want me to talk about.